elevation 6 foot is the same as approximately 7.4, 7.5 NGVD. So basically, not only are we changing terminology or the benchmark, they're actually saying that in the future, we want you to make sure your homes are built another half foot higher from the benchmark.
But it's a half foot, that's the
Four
bottom.
tenths, between 4/10 and 5/10. There's a mathematical equation that I haven't got a hold of. But I just know that going forward, once everything gets approved by FEMA, that I can't accept a 7.0 NGVD. I've got to have 7.45 for NGVD or 6.0 NAVD. The surveyors are all working on this. They are quite aware of it, and they will be providing those certificates of elevations accordingly. But we need to change our language. It's outdated now.
So the impact on the town will be effectively to raise the finished floor elevation by up to a half a foot from where it currently
Well,
is.
I'd like to say that in my opinion, there's more than just that impact to the
Okay.
town. You have insurance situations for the property owners,
Mortgages and-
but then you start having our code language, and I've asked Marty already to start working with that and using an engineer to help us. If you could just imagine what's going on to the seawall caps in cove areas, that language has to appropriately change as well. But, you know, even the top elevation of a seawall cap, that has to change and create uniformity sometime in the next decade or so for residents that live on a cove. So basically, we're just asking that we convert to NAVD here.
But at the end of the day, Mr. Thrasher, what we are allowing is homes to be an extra half a foot potentially higher.
Yeah, oh yes.
Okay, so everybody needs to understand that.
We're not allowing it, we're actually required in
Well, I'm not a student on this, but FEMA is, if I don't insure my house,
Yeah.
Under the federal program, I don't have to follow those rules. There's nobody can make me follow those rules.
No?
So it's a more complex subject than saying, well, there's not an option. There is an option. Now,
Well, yeah.
I'm not recommending that we not change this, but you know, I think we need to understand what we're approving.
Well, when this gets fully implemented, and I believe there are some waiver years, the cost of insurance for those that are at the old 7-foot plane is, in my opinion, will naturally have to go up because of an increased liability. The insurers will be looking at, oh, you know, you're a half foot below what FEMA recommends to be. So that's a few years out. But, and it is true. You don't have to insure your house. I mean,
But in any case, I'm fine with it. Anybody else? Any other discussion on that?
No, as far as, I mean, except for the very low-lying areas of town, south end of town, and the, really, we set the height of the foundation at the houses that surround it. We don't really discuss this when we set the floor plan for the house.
We give them options. I think there are 3 in the code, one of which is this 6-foot NAVD as it's changed. But so filtered throughout the code are a lot of different applicable items as it relates to converting to NAVD that we have to we have to make those changes throughout the code. Anything where elevation height is mentioned.
Like what was the elevation on the house we
The
just
new home,
approved?
yeah.
Does anybody have that one?
I think that's, one was actually, he picked it up, I think Richard
It did.
picked up 7.5.
7.5.
Somewhere in that range. They're already making those adjustments.
Yeah.
It was, it's plus 8.5 NGVD for the living room,
Much
and
better
the,
than I do.
and it's 8 feet NGVD for the garage.
Yeah.
So these are involved.
So that's
a motion?
Motion on that, please, basically,
I move we change our code and any reference within the code to conform to the FEMA minimum finish floor elevation stipulating a 6-foot NADD.
A second?
Yes.
Yes.
1 minute. Mr. Roche?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Chairman Lyons?
Yes.
And then the B2 is really just simply housekeeping language. We want to extend the connotation of North Ocean Boulevard Overlay District to include the newly annexed area, just north of town. Presently, our code doesn't pick it up.
Any s-
I'm ready to make a motion.
Yes, so moved.
You're good.
Yeah.
I gotta catch the plane.
Okay?
Second.
So,
Second?
Mr. Doherty?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Roche? Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Chairman Lyons?
Yes.
all right, 3, include chapter 58 in special magistrate jurisdiction. Presently, that section, that chapter is not included under the jurisdiction of the special magistrate. This is just housekeeping. For whatever reason, it was not included.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Doherty?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Roche?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Chairman Lyons?
Yes.
Number 4, in section, page number CD 70:63, change except doors to except front entrance doors in the paragraph. That's just a tedious little thing that, both 3 and 4 were brought to our attention through special magistrate proceedings.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Mr. Doherty?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Roche?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Chairman Lyons?
Yes.
How
All right.
close are you on travel?
And what's the
Because
timeline?
we can defer some of these.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
let's
gonna
say-
have a few more coming up, so if you wanna hold.
What I don't wanna do is anyway, hold up anybody in terms of what they're trying to accomplish, so can these wait until the next meeting?
The pavers, the windows, the visible.
If that would be okay?
Yeah,
Some
I
of
think
this-
we're gonna take some time, especially on some of the, like the 3-car garage issue, so we may.
Right, I
we're
think
not
they
gonna be
warrant
in a
discussion.
hurry.
Right, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
and I believe that Mr. Marsh seemed to have, he wanted to make a comment about windows.
Yeah.
Well,
So can I move that we defer the discussion items under C 1, 2, and 3 until our next meeting?
I second.
Mr. Doherty?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Roche?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Chairman Lyons?
Yes. So the last thing, any other comments from the public? Thank you. Meeting closed.